Fresh sunlight struggles through faded motel blinds. It paints narrow stripes across a half-made bed. The muffled hum of a vacuum echoes faintly in the hall, like the heartbeat of the building. A slender hand tugs the last corner of a crisp white sheet into place. Tight, military corners, practiced, perfect. Mira Solis, early 30s. Ponytail messy, eyes tired but focused, kneels on the floor beside the bed. Her uniform polo shirt is faded at the collar. One pant leg is damp from a spill in the last room. She smooths the pillowcases like she's ironing out thoughts too loud to say. There's no music in the air, just the occasional clink of a cleaner's cart. And Mira's breathing, slow, controlled, counting out the rhythm of her invisible playlist. She stands, stretches her back, winces quietly, then grabs the Lysol. This was the soundtrack of her days now. Fabric rustling, faucets dripping, silence broken by carts and complaints. Not applause, not melodies, not anymore. She enters the bathroom. Bleach, scrub, rinse, repeat. The mirror fogs slightly from the shower she didn't take. Her reflection stares back with that quiet kind of strength. The kind that comes from surviving more days than you thought you could. Hallway, minutes later. Mira rolls her cart forward. Her shoes squeak with each step. Room 4B. She knocks gently, just in case. No answer. She enters and gets to work. Time lapse. Cleaning sequence. Trash bag tied and replaced towels folded like origami coffee station restocked lamps dusted without blinking. She hums under her breath. A low, almost imperceptible tune. The kind of melody you hum by instinct, not memory. Then she pauses. Something's resting on the freshly made bed. A small cream envelope. No stamp, no hotel logo, no return address, just her name. Mira. She looks around. No sound, no shadow, no sign of who left it. Her brow furrows. She picks it up slowly, holds it to the light. Empty. No letter inside, just the weight of being noticed. It had been years since someone had written her name with care. Years since paper held possibility instead of bills. She doesn't open it. Not yet, just places it quietly in her pocket. And keeps cleaning. A kitchenette light flickers on. Mira unlocks the door quietly, dragging her cleaning cart halfway in before parking it in the corner. Her shoes come off with a tired sigh. She winces, heel blister, left foot again. The apartment is no bigger than a budget hotel room because it is one. Discounted by her boss. One twin bed, one cot, fridge humming too loud. Paint chipping near the door. In the corner, nestled on a makeshift mattress of blankets and stuffed animals, Luna, 9, looks up from her sketch pad. Luna, you're late again. Mira, softly. The honeymoon suite left something special in the sink. Luna giggles. Mira sits beside her, brushes back a curl from her forehead. Luna, you smell like lemon and bleach. Mira, smiling. Compliment or critique? Luna, poetic observation. Mira raises an eyebrow. Luna beams, proud. On the nightstand, an open lunchbox with crumbs, a cracked tablet blinking low battery, and a piece of paper with crayon scribbles. Luna, Conti D. I wrote something today, a poem. For your ears only. She holds it up, messy spelling but bursting with heart. My mom folds stories in towels. She makes beds that hug you. Her hands don't play piano anymore, but they still carry music. Mira swallows, hard. She hugs her daughter tight, pressing her lips into Luna's curls. Mira, you're gonna change the world with that little heart of yours. Luna, muffled. Only if you sing again someday. Mira doesn't answer. She just looks toward the coat hanging by the door, its pocket bulging slightly with the still unread envelope from earlier. Motel. Next morning. Break. Room. Mira sips coffee from a paper cup. Bitter. No sugar. Just enough to stay standing. She grabs her assignment sheet from the corkboard. Her name is beside rooms 1 through 5. She's never assigned room 6. But something else is pinned nearby. A folded room service card. Same creamy paper. Same cursive writing. 2 words written across it. Thank you. She freezes. Same ink. Same slope in the T. The handwriting matches the envelope. The ancient industrial dryers rumble like distant thunder. Steam floats lazily, curling through rays of dusty sunlight that stream through a single foggy window. Mira folds towels with robotic precision, her mind clearly elsewhere. She pulls the room service card from her apron pocket, studies it again. That elegant cursive, the same curl in the lowercase r, the same pressure on the downstroke. Candace, 40s. Another housekeeper with a heavy southern drawl and an eagle eye for gossip, peeks over Mira's shoulder. Candace, you got a secret admirer now? Mira, startled, hides card. What? No, just nothing. Candace raises an eyebrow. She flicks her gum and grabs a stack of linens. Candace, sure don't look like nothing. Fancy handwriting for someone staying in this dump. Mira, maybe it was left for someone else. Candace, it's got your name on it, doesn't it? Mira hesitates, then changes the subject. Mira, has anyone been cleaning room 6 lately? Candace pauses. Nobody but Trish, far as I know. Why? Mira, I found something from there. Just curious. Candace lowers voice. Room 6. That's the new guy. Came in last week. Tall, quiet. Real polite. Probably rich. Tipped in cash. You know the type. Never says much, but watches everything. Mira goes still. Candace, Contidi. Why? He leaves something for you? Mira, evasively. No. Probably just a mix-up. Candace shrugs and returns to her folding. Mira slowly reaches for the envelope again. Staff locker room. Moments later. She locks herself inside a stall, takes a breath, opens the cream envelope with trembling fingers. Inside is a single sheet of thick paper. She unfolds it. Just one line, written in that same perfect script. To Mira, you were seen. Her breath catches. She looks around the stall instinctively, heart pounding. She hadn't been seen in years. Not really. Not as anything more than a uniform, a worker, a woman with bleach on her sleeves and silence in her chest. But now, someone knew her name. Someone remembered. The motel lamp casts a soft amber glow as Mira sits at the tiny desk, the mysterious note still beside her. Her fingers trace the elegant strokes of her name, over and over like she's trying to memorize how it feels to be remembered. She pulls open a cracked drawer. Dusty notebooks, old receipts, crumpled flyers. She pulls one notebook out, hesitates, then flips it open. Flashback to high school music room years ago. A younger Mira, 17, full of light and fire, sits at a battered upright piano. Her fingers fly, eyes closed, body swaying with the rhythm, pencil tucked behind her ear, sheet music sprawled across the bench, lyrics scribbled in the margins. The classroom is empty, but her voice echoes with purpose. I wanna be the note you hum when you're alone, the part of you that sings when no one knows. She writes that line down. Her handwriting, young but already elegant. That same flourish in the Y, that same care. Bedroom. Later that night, flashback continues. Mira lies on her bed, guitar across her chest. Her mom yells from the kitchen, bills, broken things. But Mira just closes her eyes and sings softer. The melody is the only thing in her life that listens back. Suddenly, knock at the door. A white envelope slides under it. Scholarship letter, Music Academy in Chicago. She clutches it like oxygen. Flashback ends Mira's room. Present Mira blinks, pulled back to now. She stares at her old lyrics, her own handwriting, and the letter from room 6, same curve in the words, same pressure, same soul. She wrote that note, but how? She buried that girl long ago, buried her with the guitar, the melodies, the dreams wrapped in paper she stopped believing in. But something, or someone, just started digging her back up. A lone spotlight spills over the edge of a small stage. Mira, 17, stands center, guitar strapped tight across her, microphone trembling slightly in her hand. The crowd is modest, mostly folding chairs and parents, but their eyes are on her. You could hear a pin drop. She takes a breath, then begins. Soft chords, a rising melody. Her voice wraps around the room like fog at sunrise. Gentle, warm, aching. I won't ask the world to know my name. Just let me sing when the dark feels loud. As she plays, we pan to the back row. Danny, 19. Leather jacket, restless energy, her boyfriend, leans against the wall. Eyes shift, arms crossed. His attention is split between Mira's voice and his vibrating phone. He frowns, texts back quickly, leaves before the final chorus. Mira sees him go. Her voice cracks, for just a second. But she finishes the song, backstage. Minutes later, Mira breathes hard, backstage, exhilarated and emotional. A teacher hands her a manila folder. Teacher, you've got it. Mira, full scholarship, Chicago Academy. Her eyes light up. Then her phone buzzes. Danny, text. Meet me at the park. It's important. Town Park. Later that night, Mira stands in the cold guitar case by her feet. Danny paces. Danny, I can't do this, Mira. Not with you leaving. I'm not built for waiting. Mira, we can figure it out. Long distance. Danny, I'm not that guy. And I don't want the kid either. Beat, the world stills. Mira, soft. You knew. Danny doesn't answer, just walks away. Bedroom. That same night Mira sits on her bed, folder open, letter unread. She unclips the guitar from its stand, stares at it, takes a breath, and smash. 1, 2, 3 times, until the music is gone. Dreams don't always end with thunder. Sometimes they break quietly in a small bedroom, held by a girl who wanted to fly, but chose to stay. The room falls silent. Her hands shake. That was the last night she ever played. The automatic doors slide open with a tired wheeze as Mira pushes her cart inside, head down, already sweating before the day begins. A shiny black SUV idles outside. Luggage with designer tags is wheeled in by a young bellhop. A sweated man, 50s, argues on his Bluetooth. Woman in heels, 40s, snaps at the receptionist about the breakfast spread. Mira, VO. Rich guests meant 2 things, extra towels and extra trouble. She tries to slip past unnoticed, but Mr. Cooper, her manager, mid-40s, waves her over with a clipped motion. Mr. Cooper, Mira, you're on the premium suites today. Mira, those are usually Trish's. Mr. Cooper, sharper. Trish is out. You're up, and I want the place looking like a 5-star palace. No creative touches, you hear? Mira swallows her pride. Nods. Mr. Cooper, Conti D. Don't talk to the guests. They're not regulars. One of them owns 3 recording studios in LA. Big deal. Mira stiffens at the word recording. Doesn't show it. She grabs extra linens and pushes toward the elevator. Elevator, moments later. Mira rides up alone. The elevator hums softly. She adjusts her badge. Her reflection in the chrome walls looks older today. Suite hallway. Floor 5. Later. She pushes her cart toward room 6, but the door is already open. A tall figure stands just inside. Julian, 40s. Tailored shirt sleeves rolled to his elbows. Sipping coffee, gaze distant. She hesitates, not sure if she should speak or enter. He turns. Their eyes meet. He doesn't blink, doesn't smile, just looks at her like he knows her. Mira quickly lowers her head. Mira, soft. Housekeeping. She steps inside. Room 6. Continuous. Mira begins changing the sheets. back turned to him. Julian walks past her slowly, sets his mug down, and pauses by the writing desk. She watches him through the mirror. He hums, softly, a tune. Her tune. She freezes. He walks to the door and steps out, without a word, but not before giving her one last glance, and this time, he smiles. The TV plays softly in the background, reruns from a cooking show. Mira sits at the edge of the bed, eyes distant, scrubbing invisible stains from her work pants. Across the room, Luna sits cross-legged with a pencil between her teeth and a notepad in her lap. She watches her mother for a moment, thoughtful. "Luna, can I read you something?" Mira looks up, surprised. "Mira, always." Luna clears her throat dramatically, then begins reading, serious and proud. Her shoes squeak like lullabies. Her hands whisper through sheets. "My mom sings in cleaning even when no one sees." Mira's breath catches. Mira, quietly. "You wrote that?" Luna, grinning. "Yup. It's for school. Theme was heroes." "You're mine, obviously." Mira pulls her close into an embrace. "Myra, you're the best thing I've ever made." Luna leans her head against her. "Luna, I think someone should hear you sing again." Mira, Luna, soft. "You don't have to be famous. Just let the music come out sometimes." Mira swallows hard. The silence between them is warm, not empty. Mira's room. Later that night, Mira tucks Luna into bed. The notepad rests nearby on the dresser, poem still visible. She kisses Luna's forehead, then turns off the light. Room 6, next morning. Mira enters quietly, pushing her cart. It's still and sunlit. No sign of Julian. She begins her routine. As she smooths the pillows, she notices a piece of paper peeking from under her stack of towels. She pulls it out, Luna's poem, folded neatly. She gasps softly, checks her apron. Empty. She must have brought it in by accident. Before she can react, the bathroom door opens. Julian steps out. She's frozen, poem in hand. He sees it, but says nothing. Just offers a calm, knowing look, and walks past her toward the window. The door creaks as Mira steps in. Room 6 is bathed in soft golden light spilling through sheer curtains. Empty, quiet. Julian has checked out. She exhales, almost disappointed. Her cleaning routine begins. Towels gathered, sheets stripped. But her movements are slower today, more cautious. She approaches the desk. That's when she sees it. The poem. It's back, but now, something's changed. Her daughter's handwriting remains, but nestled between Luna's verses, there are faint musical notations. Treble clefs, chord suggestions, harmonies. Her breath catches. Each stanza now has small penciled marks. Melodies lightly traced in between Luna's lines, like someone was setting it to music. Whoever had read Luna's words hadn't just understood them. They'd heard the music inside them, the same way Mira once did. Her hands tremble slightly as she turns the page. A new note is tucked inside. Same paper, same elegant handwriting. It reads, "You're still music. Please don't forget." Mira stares at it for a long moment. Her eyes shine, but no tears fall. She places a hand over her heart, slow, almost involuntary, like something inside her just stirred, a chord that hadn't rung in years. From the corner of her eye, she notices something else. The desk drawer is slightly ajar. Inside, a pencil and sheet music paper. Blank. Waiting. She closes the drawer gently, leaves the poem folded in her apron, and finishes cleaning the room. Quieter now, but not empty. Hallway. Moments later, as Mira pushes her cart away, she hums under her breath. A few quiet notes, something familiar. A melody long buried. It doesn't even sound like cleaning anymore. It sounds like healing. Mira stands silently, cart parked beside her. Her hand hovers near the doorknob of room 6, but she doesn't knock. Instead, She just listens. Inside, soft humming, a melody. Slow, familiar. Her melody. The one she sang to herself while folding towels. The one Luna echoed in her poem. The voice is warm, male, humming with care, like someone tracing the outline of a song not quite forgotten. Mira leans in slightly, heart thudding. The hum shifts into gentle piano chords, plucked out slowly, unsure of themselves. Then a few whispered lyrics. She folds the world with aching hands, makes beds like stages never seen. Mira's eyes widen. He's singing her daughter's poem, set to music. Her music! She moves even closer, holding her breath. The melody wraps around her like a familiar coat, still warm from years ago. Then, the music stops. A quiet shuffle. Then a voice, direct, but not unkind, floats through the cracked door. Julian, OSC. You're standing there, aren't you? Mira stiffens, silence, Julian, OS. Gentler. Did you write that? Her throat closes. She steps back without answering, heart pounding against her ribs like a warning drum. The door creaks open just a few inches. Julian, OS. Wait. But she's already walking away. Fast, focused, afraid of whatever just reached out and touched the part of her that still wanted to be known. Service stairwell. Moments later, Mira leans against the wall, eyes closed, breathing hard. He wasn't just playing a song. He was unearthing something she'd buried under years of work, silence, and survival. And he wasn't even trying to steal it. He was trying to give it back. Mira stands behind the laundry cart, organizing supplies, trying to ignore the flutter in her chest. She spots Julian crossing the lobby toward the vending machines. She tries to slip away. Julian, Mira. She pauses. Slow turn. She doesn't remember telling him her name. He's holding a worn notebook. Her notebook. The one with the original lyrics tucked inside Luna's poem, Julian, Con TD. This fell behind the desk in room 6. At least, I hope it was yours. Because if not, I've stumbled into something sacred. She doesn't respond, just reaches out slowly, grabs the notebook. Mira, curt. Thanks. Julian, gentle. That melody. It's yours, isn't it? Mira. I don't sing anymore, Julian. You still hum. She looks at him sharply, guarded. Mira. You're a guest. You shouldn't be listening. Julian, smiling faintly. I wasn't trying to, but good music doesn't ask permission. It enters the room and makes itself known. Beat, Mira. Why are you here? Julian. A friend of mine owns this place. I came to get away for a few weeks, and found something worth listening to again. He studies her, Julian, Conti D. You don't remember me, do you? She frowns. Julian, Conted. 10 years ago. Open mic night. Sugar Ridge Cafe. You sang a song about ghosts and piano keys. Mira, softly. When the room goes quiet. He nods, Julian. You made everyone in that room forget their pain for 3 minutes, including me. She looks away. Mira. That was a long time ago, Julian, gently. It doesn't sound like it. Time buries voices, but some sounds echo louder when they've been silenced too long. The door clicks shut behind her. Mira leans against it, eyes closed, pulse still racing from the conversation with Julian. Luna snores softly, curled up under her blanket fort, unaware of the storm in her mother's chest. Mira grabs her notebook, the one Julian returned, and flips through pages filled with lyrics, chord markings, doodles from Luna. Then she slams it shut. Mira, to herself. No, not again. She shoves the notebook into a drawer and forces herself into routine. Folding laundry, prepping lunch, scraping dried rice off a plastic container, but nothing stills her hands. They tremble. Room 6. Next day, Julian sits on the couch, notebook in his lap, fingers tapping a rhythm. Knock. He opens the door. Mira stands there. jaw clenched, eyes guarded. Mira, whatever this is. It stops now. Julian, gently. I didn't mean to. Mira, cutting him off. You don't know me. You don't know what I've given up. You come in here with your piano keys and nice words like, it's that easy. Julian. It can be, Mira. Maybe not simple, but possible. Mira. Not when you've got a daughter who depends on you. Not when music means missed shifts and skipped meals. She turns to leave. Julian. I heard your voice. That doesn't just disappear. She doesn't turn back. Mira. Softly. It does when no one listens. Room 6. Later, Julian sits on the edge of the bed, staring at the door. He opens his leather satchel, pulls out a small envelope, writes something in clean cursive. Slides it under her door. Hallway. Continuous. Mira walks by hours later. Pauses. An envelope lies at her feet. She opens it. Inside, one sentence. Don't throw away your story. Some people enter your life not to stay, but to remind you what still lives inside you. The smell of burnt coffee and cheap detergent fills the air. Mira stands by the vending machine, refilling her water bottle, lost in thought. Candace, chewing gum like it's a personality trait, eyes her from the table. Candace. You've been humming a lot lately, sweetheart. Mira freezes, covers it quickly with a shrug. Mira. Guess I'm just tired. Candace, mocking. Tired people don't sing. Trish, mid-30s, bitter edge. She's been spending a lot of time on the 5th floor. With room 6, that grabs attention. 2 more housekeepers glance over. Mira, flatly. I clean where I'm told. Trish. He's been asking for her specifically, you know. Candace. Isn't he like, somebody important? Music guy? Trish, snapping. Doesn't matter. This is a job, not a damn talent show. Mira packs up her cleaning kit, face neutral, but hands shaking. Mira, let me know when you're done talking about me in third person. She walks out, hallway. Later that day, Mira scrubs a bathroom mirror with unnecessary force. Her reflection looks back, tight jaw, burning eyes. She stops, inhales. Hears faint music again. Piano from room 6. Her melody. For a split second, she lets herself smile. Front desk, evening. Guest approaches the counter. Guest. Excuse me, who was the maid who left the little poem in my room? It was beautiful. The clerk furrows his brow, types into the system. Across the room, Trish overhears. She leans in. Trish, to front desk. You might want to tell Mr. Cooper. Sounds like Mira's getting a little too comfortable with the guests. The clerk glances nervously toward the back office. When a woman starts standing out, people will call it a problem before they call it a gift. Rain taps steadily against the thin windows. The heater hums, but the air still feels cold. Mira kneels by the edge of the cot where Luna lies curled up. Cheeks flushed, forehead burning, sweat clings to her curls. Her tiny arms wrap around her stuffed rabbit like a lifeline. Mira wrings out a washcloth, presses it gently to Luna's forehead. Mira, softly. You're gonna be okay, baby. Just a bug. Luna, weakly. My throat hurts. Mira, I know. I'll get some soup from downstairs, okay? Luna nods, eyes fluttering closed. Motel front desk. Moments later, Mira rushes down in her hoodie and slippers, hair a mess, desperation on her face. The night clerk barely looks up. Mira, is the kitchen still open? My daughter's sick. I just need... Night clerk, cutting her off. Closed an hour ago. Myra, please. She's got a fever and nothing will stay down. The clerk shrugs, bored. Night clerk. Try a gas station? Parking lot. Later, Mira fumbles for her keys with one hand, holding Luna upright in the other as she bundles her into the back seat. The car struggles to start, doesn't turn over. She bangs the steering wheel. Mira, frantic whisper. Come on, please don't do this now. Clinic. 1 hour later. Mira sits beside Luna in a plastic chair. Fluorescent lights hum above them. Luna shivers in a borrowed blanket. Doctor, OS. It's strep, mild, but she'll need antibiotics, fluids. Rest. Mira nods, trying not to cry. The door opens behind her. She turns. Julian stands there holding a paper bag of prescriptions and a small thermos. Julian, gently. I thought you might need help. Mira, quietly. How did you know? Julian. You left your shift badge on the hallway floor. She stares at him, takes the thermos slowly. Sometimes help comes from those who've seen you not just working, but worn down, dimmed lights. Luna sleeps on Mira's lap, finally at ease, her fever softening. The thermos sits empty on the table beside them. Mira looks up at Julian, who sits quietly across from her. She studies him. Mira, why did you come? Julian softly. Because I've heard that silence before, the kind where you don't ask for help, because you're used to no one showing up. Beat Mira lowers her eyes, her voice barely a whisper. Mira, you said you remembered me. Julian, I did. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. Julian, Cantid. You sang a song. When the room goes quiet. Mira looks up sharply. Julian, Cantid. That melody got stuck in my head for a week. I tracked it down. Looked everywhere. Mira blinks, confused. Myra. It wasn't recorded. Julian. It was. Once. She stills. Julian, Cant D. A scratchy demo. Someone mailed it to my label 10 years ago. No name, just a song. That song. Flashback, recording studio. 10 years ago. Julian, younger. Places headphones on. Presses play. The raw version of Mira's voice crackles to life. Imperfect but magnetic. He closes his eyes. She's young, scared, singing like her soul has something to prove. Flashback ends. Clinic. Back to present. Mira presses her lips together. Emotion rising. Mira. Soft. I was 17. I recorded it in the back of a music store. Julian. I never forgot it. I still keep that CD in my piano bench. Mira looks away, her hand unconsciously brushing through Luna's hair. Mira, that girl. She's gone now, Julian, firm. She's not gone. She's just quiet, waiting to be invited back. Some songs don't fade. They echo in people who were changed by them. The door creaks as Mira enters, gently laying Luna on the cot. The girl stirs but doesn't wake. Mira moves slowly, carefully, like every sound could shatter her. She opens the closet and pulls down a long-forgotten box from the top shelf. Dust coats it like a warning. She sets it on the floor, hesitates, then opens the lid. Inside, splintered wood. A broken guitar. Neck snapped, strings tangled. Body cracked where it once held her heart. She runs her fingers along the jagged edges, flash of pain across her face. It was never just an instrument. It held her voice when she didn't have the courage to use it. And she broke it with her own hands. Knock, knock. Startled. She slams the box closed. She opens the door, just a few inches. Julian stands there, holding a small paper bag, Julian cough drops and soup for Luna. And, maybe some tea for you. He looks past her shoulder, notices the box, notices her guilt. She tries to block it with her foot. Mira, it's nothing, Julian, gently. Was it yours? Beat. A pause stretches between them. She steps aside. He kneels beside the box, pulling out the shattered guitar. Studies it like it's a crime scene. Julian, quietly. This was hand-carved. Mahogany back. Satin finish. Someone gave this to you with love. Mira nods. Mira, I smashed it the night he left. My ex. The same night I found out I was pregnant. Julian looks up at her, No judgment, just understanding. Julian. I can fix this, she laughs bitterly. Mira. It's too far gone. Julian. No, just silent. Like you. He gathers the broken pieces carefully, like a man collecting something sacred. Some things aren't ruined, just waiting for someone who knows how to hear them again. A dull gray light seeps through the curtains. The heater kicks on with a click. It's one of those quiet mornings where time feels paused. Mira stands at the kitchenette, stirring oatmeal. Her mind is far away, further than her hands know. The silence in the room isn't empty, though. It's waiting. Across the room, Luna sits at the table, scribbling into a notepad. Her face still pale from the fever, but her eyes sparkle again. Luna, softly. You're humming again. Mira freezes. Mira, was I? Luna, smiling. You always do when you think no one's watching. Mira shakes her head, half laughing as she sets the bowls on the table. Luna, con TD. I like it. It's like the air's warmer when you do. Mira sits, surprised by the tears prickling at the edges of her vision. Mira, quiet. I used to think music would save me, but when everything crashed, it just felt like more noise. Luna reaches for her hand across the table. Luna, maybe it's not supposed to save you. Maybe it's supposed to remember you. They eat quietly. Then Mira, without realizing it, begins humming again, this time louder. A tune born from nothing and yet unmistakably hers. Mira's motel room. Later that day, Luna sits with Mira's old phone propped up on a tissue box. The camera rolls silently as Mira, facing the window, sings under her breath while folding towels. Nothing staged. No spotlight, just a mother singing to herself. Luna whispers, "Don't be mad, Mom." She taps send, Julian's room, same time. His phone buzzes on the desk. New message, no sender name, just a video clip. He presses play. Mira's voice floats through the speaker, soft, uncertain, hauntingly beautiful. He smiles, closes his eyes, and listens. Some songs don't ask for an audience. They just need someone who won't let them disappear. Golden hour casts honeyed light across the faded tile floor. The front desk is quiet, the usual buzz of guests replaced by stillness. At the far end of the lobby stands a dusty upright piano, mostly ignored, mostly silent. Until now. Julian enters from the side hallway, alone. He walks to the piano, pauses. His fingers hover above the keys, unsure, then slowly begin to play. The first few notes are hesitant, soft, slow, but then they find rhythm. Mira's melody, not the polished version, the one she hummed while folding towels, the one Luna sent him, unfiltered, unguarded. He plays it like a prayer. It wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about honoring the sound of someone who never got to finish her song. The lobby gradually stirs. Couple checking in stops mid-conversation. Little boy pulls his mom closer to the music. The desk clerk lowers the phone receiver slowly. Listening? Julian doesn't look up. He doesn't smile. He just plays, with a kind of devotion that feels like apology and admiration all in one. Each note swells and sighs through the space like memory returning. At the stairs, Mira watches silently from behind the railing. She wasn't supposed to be there. She didn't plan to hear it. But her knees go weak when she realizes he's playing her. She doesn't step forward, doesn't interrupt, but her eyes soften. The corners of her mouth twitch, like a smile she's not ready to show. Across the room, a guest pulls out a phone, begins recording. No caption. Just the image of a man at a piano, playing a song only one person in the world would recognize. Steam rises from a basket of warm towels as Mira sorts linens, her hands in motion but her mind elsewhere. She's humming again, subconsciously now. Candace bursts through the door, phone in hand, face wide with shock and something dangerously close to glee. Candace, girl, you better sit down. Mira, warily. Why? Candace. Because you're all over the internet right now. Mira freezes. Candace. Con TD. That piano video? From the lobby? You're in the background, just barely. But your name's in the caption. Candace turns the screen toward her. A video plays, Julian at the piano, slow, soulful. And the title, The Woman Who Inspired This Melody. Mira Solis, over 100,000 views. Mira. Oh my God. She scrolls through the comments, heart thudding. Who is she? I need this full version now. Never seen someone play with that much feeling. Someone sign her. Candace. You didn't post this? Mira, shaking head. No, I didn't even know. Her phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number. Attached. A screenshot of the post. Text. You're being heard, Mira. Finally. She looks around, panic rising in her throat. Motel manager's office. Moments later. Cooper glares across the desk. Mr. Cooper. I just got a call from corporate. You care to explain why this motel is now trending on social media? Mira stammers, but before she can answer, he slaps down a printout of the video thumbnail. Mr. Cooper. Conta D. We do hospitality. Not viral stunts. Mira's face falls. Some voices were never meant to be hidden. But when they start echoing, the world doesn't always clap. Sometimes it closes its doors tighter. Back in the laundry room, Candace refreshes the video. The top comment glows. Who is this motel cleaner with the angel voice? The walls are dull beige. A fake fern wilts in the corner. Mr. Cooper sits behind his desk, posture stiff, eyes hard. Mira stands across from him, hands clasped, trying to stay calm. A copy of the printed viral post lies between them like a crime scene photo. Mr. Cooper, tight. You want to explain this? Mira, quietly. I didn't post it. Someone else must have recorded it. Mr. Cooper, then how come your name's in the title? And why are people calling here asking to talk to you? He pulls out a crumpled notepad with scribbled names and phone numbers. Journalists, bloggers, fans. Mr. Cooper, Con TD. This place runs on peace and order, not influencer drama. Mira, I didn't ask for this. Mr. Cooper, that's the problem. You brought it anyway. She clenches her jaw, tries not to cry. Mira, all I did was sing, in private. Quietly. Off the clock. Mr. Cooper, sharp. Not anymore, you didn't. He pulls a pink employee suspension form from his drawer and starts filling it out. Mira, please, I need this job. Mr. Cooper, without looking up. You want to be famous? Do it somewhere else. He signs the form and slides it across the desk. Mr. Cooper, Con TD. Take 2 weeks. Think about whether you're here to work or to perform. Mira stares at the paper. Her signature line is blank. She doesn't move, just stares, then turns and walks out. Motel hallway. Moments later. Mira stumbles down the corridor. The buzzing lights above flicker like bad applause. She passes room 6. The door is open. Julian is inside, packing. He looks up, sees the look on her face, but says nothing. She keeps walking. Sometimes the world doesn't wait for your encore. It pulls the curtain before you're even done humming. A patch of dry grass, tired swings squeaking in the wind. Mira pushes Luna gently on the swing, her eyes scanning the park. Tension clings to her like static. Nearby, 2 moms chat by the benches. One glances Mira's way, then leans into the other and whispers. Luna kicks her feet mid-air. Luna, brightly. Mom, I saw your video again. It's everywhere now. Mira, tense smile. Shh, baby. Not so loud. Luna slows the swing. Luna, did I do something bad by recording you? Mira kneels beside her. Mira, soft. No, you did something brave. People just don't always like when things change. Grocery store. Later, Mira walks the narrow aisles with a basket. Heads turn. Whispers follow her like a shadow. She reaches for a can of soup. her hand brushing another woman's. The woman pulls back quickly. Woman, flatly. Heard you're famous now. Mira, quietly. Not really. Woman, shrugs. Just don't forget who bagged your groceries last month. Mira nods, walks away with her basket half full and pride emptying by the second. Apartment stairwell. Evening. Mira and Luna climb the steps, their groceries rattling in plastic bags. A neighbor leans against a railing, arms crossed. Neighbor. Heard you're causing trouble down at the motel. Mira doesn't respond. Neighbor, Conti D. My cousin applied there twice. Never got hired. Maybe he should have hummed a tune. Mira walks past him. Neighbor, calls after. You think a song will save you? She pauses on the landing. Doesn't turn. Mira, without looking back. No, but it saved someone else once. She disappears into the stairwell. When you rise, even a whisper can sound like a threat, especially to those who've only ever known your silence. Cheerful posters line the walls. Be kind. Use your voice. Creativity counts. But Luna walks slower than usual, her head down, arms crossed over her small backpack. Two girls at a locker whisper loudly enough to be heard. Girl, we're one. That's her. The singer girl's kid, girl, Pratu. My mom says her mom got fired for showing off. Luna's eyes well, but she doesn't speak. She just walks faster. Classroom. Later, Luna doodles in her notebook, ignoring the math assignment. She draws a woman with music notes swirling around her, and flames at her feet. Teacher, OS. Luna? You okay? She nods too quickly. Motel. Late afternoon. Mira kneels near the laundry cart when she sees Luna walking up the path toward her, early from school. No bounce in her step. Face pale. Mira, Luna? What are you doing home? Luna, I told Miss Jackson my stomach hurt. She let me go. Mira wipes her hands on her apron and crouches down. Eye level. Mira, gently. What really happened? Luna hesitates. Luna, they're talking about you. They said you're getting too big for where you came from. And that you're going to leave me. Mira blinks, stunned. Mira, softly. Hey, look at me. I'm not going anywhere. Not ever. It's just a song, baby. Luna. But songs make people mean. Mira hugs her tightly. Mira's room. Night. The guitar box sits untouched in the corner. The curtains are closed. The air heavy. Mira stares out the small window, her jaw clenched. Mira, to herself. No more music. It's done. She walks across the room and pulls the notebook from the drawer. She doesn't rip it. She just places it gently in the trash. What good is a voice if it only brings pain to the ones you'd give your soul to protect? The sky outside is overcast. Rain taps gently on the glass. The usual buzz of suitcases and check-ins is missing. Mira walks through the lobby, head low, coffee untouched in her hand. From the corner of her eye, she sees the front desk clerk hand over a checkout envelope to Julian. He signs the form. No eye contact, no small talk. Mira freezes in place, half hidden behind the coffee station. When someone starts to feel like hope, watching them leave feels like betrayal. Julian zips up his duffel bag, the same one he carried in when he first arrived. He walks past room 6, past the front desk, toward the doors. He doesn't look back. Motel parking lot. Moments later. Mira follows at a distance. The air smells like wet pavement and endings. Julian loads the last bag into his car. For a moment he pauses, looks up at the gray sky, then climbs in. He drives away. No words, no goodbye, just the hum of tires on soaked asphalt. Room 6. Later that day. Mira pushes open the door slowly. The room feels hollow, like something had once filled it with music, and now it echoes. She walks to the desk. A folded note rests on top. No envelope, just her name written across the front in that familiar script. She opens it. Some songs only bloom when watered by grief. Let yours grow wild. She reads it twice. Her hands shake, her throat tightens, but no tears fall. She tucks the note into her apron pocket and leaves the room in silence. Sometimes love doesn't walk in with grand promises. Sometimes it slips away, but leaves a melody behind. The fluorescent light flickers overhead. Mira crouches by a wall bin, scrubbing mildew from tile grout with an old toothbrush. Her fingers are red. Her back aches. Bleach stings her nose. The only sound is the steady squeak of bristles on tile. This was who she had become again. The girl who didn't sing. The woman who didn't dare. She scrubs harder. Grout, tile, knuckle. She's not sure what she's cleaning anymore. The bleach bottle slips from her hand, crashes, spills. She stares at the puddle spreading around her knees, doesn't move. Then her chest tightens. A dry sob escapes her throat, and then another. She leans back against the shelf, covers her mouth, but the sobs keep coming. Mira whispers, "I didn't ask for this. I didn't want anyone to hear me." Tears finally fall, hot, unrelenting. She folds over herself. All the shame, the hope, the doors that opened and slammed shut again. It crashes now, all at once. She thought silence would protect her, but all it did was bury her. Mira's room, hours later. The room is still. Luna sleeps soundly. Mira stands at the closet door, one hand on the handle. Something inside tells her to open it. She does. Inside, leaning against the wall, wrapped in a dark towel, is a guitar. Her guitar, but it's whole. The cracks are gone. The wood smooth. Strings replaced. Taped to the neck is a note. She still has a voice. Her fingers touch the polished surface gently, reverently. Mira whispers, "You fixed her." Her voice shakes. But this time, it's not from fear. It's from remembering. A few nights ago. Luna sits quietly on the cot, legs swinging. Mira folds laundry across the room, softly singing to herself, just above a whisper. Her voice is unguarded, vulnerable, honest. She doesn't know she's being recorded. Luna, clutching Mira's old phone, tilts it just enough to capture her mom in profile, framed by warm light, humming a melody even silence seemed to recognize. Luna, whispering into the mic. "This is what my mom sounds like when she thinks no one hears her." She taps post, no hashtags, no caption, just a title. For those who've forgotten what real sounds like. Luna's school. Next day. Flashback continues. Luna watches nervously on her cracked tablet. The likes, then 200, then 3.4K, then 75,000 views. Comments flood in. Who is this woman? This broke something inside me in a good way. We don't know her name yet, but we will. Mira's room. Back to present. Mira picks up Luna's tablet off the nightstand to check school emails and freezes. The video thumbnail loads. Her singing view. Count climbing past 1 million. She scrolls. Down, comment after comment. "I played this for my mom. She cried. Put her on stage. Anywhere. I'll be there." She doesn't know it yet, but she saved someone today. Mira covers her mouth, eyes wide. Her body goes still. Then, she hears a soft voice behind her. "Luna. OS. I didn't want to hide you anymore." Mira turns. Luna stands barefoot, in pajamas, clutching her stuffed bunny. Mira whispers, "Baby, what did you do?" Luna, gentle. "I reminded the world what you sound like. When truth is beautiful, it doesn't need a stage. It just needs a child brave enough to press send." The mailbox keys jingle in Mira's hand as she opens the rusted little door labeled 4B, mostly bills. Junk, a coupon flyer, but tucked in the middle, a heavy white envelope, stamped with gold embossed lettering. Chicago Conservatory of Music. She blinks. No return address. Just her full name handwritten in blue ink. She flips it over, hands trembling. Mira's room. Moments later, she locks the door, sits on the edge of the bed. Luna watches from the table, curious. Mira opens the envelope. Inside, a formal letter on thick stationery, a golden emblem at the top. She reads aloud, voice catching. Mira, reading. To Mira Solis. We recently came across a video of you singing. It was raw, powerful, and utterly unforgettable. She pauses, her hand covering her mouth. Mira, Con TD. Your voice reminded us why we love music. Because it tells the truth. Luna moves closer, eyes wide. Mira, Con TD. We would be honored to invite you as a featured guest performer at our annual winter benefit. Travel and arrangements will be covered. We believe your story deserves a stage. Silence. Luna. Whispers. You're going to Chicago? Mira stares at the letter like it's a trick. Like it'll vanish if she breathes too hard. Mira, barely audible. That was the school that said no, because I didn't show up. Luna. Then maybe now's your chance to show them what they missed. Mira. Soft laugh through tears. Baby, this isn't real. It can't be. Luna. Serious. Mom, you are. Mira looks down at the letter again, at the words she never thought she'd read. Your story moved us. We'd be honored. Some doors don't stay closed forever. Sometimes, the knock you stopped waiting for finally arrives. Golden sunlight filters through the dusty front windows, casting long, tired shadows. The front desk clerk yawns behind the counter, flipping through a stack of room keys. The front door opens with a soft ding. Julian steps in, bag over his shoulder, guitar case in hand. The lobby hushes. Even the air stills, as if holding its breath. Mira's room. Same time. Mira adjusts the sleeves on her worn cardigan, still trying to believe the invitation is real. A soft knock interrupts her thoughts. She opens the door. Sees him, Julian. Alive in the doorway. Taller than she remembered. Softer, too. He holds out the guitar case, carefully, almost reverently. Julian. She's tuned. But I figured you'd pick the song. Mira doesn't take it. Not yet. Mira. Quiet. You left, Julian. I had to. You needed space, not pressure, and I needed to prove to myself I wasn't chasing your music. I was following your courage. Beat Mira. You think I'm brave? Julian. You kept singing when the world told you to fold towels. That's the bravest thing I've ever seen. Mira softens. Her defenses starting to fall apart like dust in sunlight. He sets the case gently by her door and steps back. Julian. Con TD. They want to hear your voice. Mira, but only you can decide when to open it. He turns, about to leave again. Mira, after a pause. One song. He stops. Looks back. Mira, firmly, but smiling. But I choose the key. Julian smiles, like he just found his melody again. Some people don't rescue you. They remind you you were never lost. A boutique hotel suite, crisp and elegant. Everything Mira isn't used to. The mirror is tall. The silence, heavy. Mira stands in front of the mirror, wearing a fitted black dress with soft lace sleeves. It hugs her body like it doesn't quite belong there. She smooths her hands over the fabric, then steps back. Her reflection stares at her. Strange, unsure, not the woman who mopped floors and hummed lullabies. She had dreamed of this moment once, before dishes and diapers, before bleach and burned-out dreams. Now that it's here, she feels wrong in it. She grabs the tag on the dress, still hanging from the sleeve, and starts to tug. Luna. O.S. Don't. Mira turns. Luna stands in the doorway, pajama-clad, hair tousled. Mira, softly. I look ridiculous. Luna. You look like the cover of an album. Mira, half laugh. I look like I borrowed someone else's life. She sits on the edge of the bed, face in her hands. Mira, conted. What if I forget the words? What if they see I don't belong up there? Luna walks over and kneels in front of her. Luna, you don't need to belong. You just need to tell the truth. Mira looks at her. Luna, Conti D. It's not the dress. It's the voice inside it. Beat. Mira exhales, shaky but steadier. She stands again, turns toward the mirror. Same reflection. But now her chin lifts just slightly. The world always tried to make her feel too much. Too emotional, too loud. But maybe, tonight, too much was exactly what they needed. Curtains ripple like breathing lungs. The stage manager whispers into a headset. The hum of the crowd beyond is low but charged, like a city before thunder. Mira stands just off stage, clutching her guitar. Her hands tremble, barely noticeable, but to her, they're earthquakes. Spotlights glow against the curtain seams. She peeks out, a theater full of people, suits, dresses, phones, laughter, applause. The world she never belonged to. Behind her, Luna gives her a tiny thumbs up from the wings. Mira nods, even though her legs feel like paper. A quiet breath in, a louder breath out. The stage manager points. Stage manager, whispers. You're on. Stage. Continuous. Mira walks forward, one step at a time. Each step pulls her further from bleach and backaches, and closer to the girl who once believed in stages and spotlights. The lights hit her. The crowd hushes. She blinks into the brightness. A microphone waits. She sits on the single stool, settles her guitar into her lap, the same one Julian fixed, the same one she once broke when Hope did. Some stages are loud. This one was sacred. Mira adjusts the mic. Her fingers find the strings by muscle memory, like they never left. The room is still. She clears her throat, eyes the audience, her voice, steady now. Mira, this one's for the rooms I used to clean. A murmur runs through the audience. Confused, curious, but Mira doesn't flinch. She strums the first chord and begins. Mira begins to sing. The first note is gentle, almost shy, but the second, stronger. The guitar hums underneath her voice, warm and honest. I used to scrub the footprints you left behind each night, learned the rhythm of the hallway by the flicker of the light. Every lyric unfolds like a confession wrapped in melody. She doesn't perform. She remembers. Every hallway she mopped, every toilet she scrubbed while humming a chorus under her breath. Every time she swallowed a lyric instead of letting it out. Heard your laughter through the ceiling while I wrung out my regrets. But music didn't leave me. It just waited where I wept. Auditorium, audience reactions. A woman, in the second row, clutches a tissue to her face. A teenage girl mouths the lyrics. Even the bored critics lean forward. Pens forgotten, and you may never know me. The one beneath your floor. But I built a song from silence, and tonight, I'm not the chore. Gasps ripple across the theater. A man lowers his phone, stunned. Mira's eyes well up, but her voice never cracks. The final chord echoes, gentle, clear. She lowers her guitar. Silence. Then, boom, applause. Like thunder breaking through years of silence, a full standing ovation erupts. Not polite, not obligatory, real. Earned. Backstage. Moments later, Mira stands just out of sight, heart racing, tears streaking her cheeks. She grips the guitar tight, breathless. From behind, Luna runs to her and wraps her arms around her waist. Luna, whispers. They finally heard you. She didn't need permission. She just needed a stage brave enough to carry her truth. The city hums outside. Neon reflections flicker on the windows. The room is quiet, but Mira isn't asleep. She sits on the edge of the bed, hair down, fingers grazing the strings of her guitar, Too full of energy to rest, too full of memory to relax. Luna sleeps soundly on the second bed, curled in the glow of her mom's stage photo on a tablet screen. Mira's phone buzzes on the nightstand. She picks it up lazily and freezes. Text notification, unknown number. But she recognizes the area code and the name that follows. Danny, the father of her child, the man who left. Phone screen saw you singing on some video. Didn't know you could still do that. I was wrong. You look happy. I hope there's still time to talk. Mira stares at the screen, unmoving. Flash 2. Years ago, Danny, walking away at the park. Mira holding the guitar he never believed in. Her hands trembling over a broken string. Her thumb hovers over the message. She doesn't open it. Doesn't reply, just deletes it. The phone screen returns to black. She sets it face down and exhales slowly, like letting go of a ghost. Closure doesn't always need a conversation. Sometimes it's a choice. To stop needing answers from people who were never listening. She turns to Luna, gently tucking a blanket over her, then picks up her guitar and strums the first note of something new. Emails flood in. Subject. Lines blink across the screen as Mira scrolls through, her phone on a park bench outside the conservatory. Thank you for singing. You reminded me of my mother. Your voice brought me peace. Motel lobby. Montage. Begins flashes of guests, all from different times and places, watching Mira's performance on their phones or TVs. A young mother holds her baby, crying. A middle-aged couple watches from their kitchen, hand in hand. A teenager in a hoodie listens with headphones, eyes closed, mouthing the lyrics, Mira's motel room. Night Mira sits on the bed, laptop open. She clicks open a message from an old guest, one she barely remembers. The email reads, You probably don't remember me. I stayed in room 3C 4 years ago. I was having a breakdown, divorce, job loss, drinking too much. One morning, you left a quote on the nightstand. Some days are heavy. Breathe anyway. I didn't talk to anyone that week, but I kept that note, and I'm still breathing. Thank you. Mira presses her hand to her heart. She keeps scrolling. Dozens more. All different voices. All connected by one thing. Her. The woman they never saw. Now unforgettable. Then one simple envelope arrives by mail. No return address. She opens it. A handwritten note. You once folded my towels. You changed my life. That's all. Mira closes her eyes and smiles. Soft, humble, overwhelmed. You never know who's watching, or who hears you in the quiet. Sometimes the smallest kindness echoes louder than a song. Sunlight streams through arched windows, casting long shadows over thick carpeting and polished desks. Everything in this office says, money. Mira sits across from two well-dressed board members, kind, but clearly powerful. A check sits on the desk between them. It's not small. Board member number 1. We'd love for you to come back and perform again. And if you're interested, we're launching a new program for underserved artists. We want you to lead it. Mira's breath catches. Board member, Shatu. Workshops, songwriting, performances for kids who don't believe they're allowed to dream. They slide the check forward. Board member, Sharber 1, smiling. This is just a thank you for your performance. No strings. Mira picks it up, sees the number, almost doesn't believe it. She looks at them. Mira, I appreciate this. But if I say yes, I don't just want to teach songs. They glance at each other, curious. Mira, Kanti D, I want to teach truth. I want to talk about what it means to sing from a place that's been hurt. I want these girls to know they don't have to be famous. They just have to be free. Silence, the good kind. Mira, firmly, and I want to say, in how single moms are represented in this space. The board members nod, respectful now, not just impressed. Listening. Board member number 2. We'd be honored. Mira stands. folds the check once, not with awe, with dignity. For the first time in years, she wasn't asking for permission. She was claiming her place, not because she was loud, but because she'd earned the quiet. A faded classroom, peeling paint, crooked blinds, scuffed floors. But it's full of sound. Mira stands at the front, tuning a donated guitar. Around her 6 kids, some shy, some squirming, all holding instruments that don't match but somehow belong. On the whiteboard behind her, welcome to the quiet stage. Luna, now with a clipboard and tiny glasses too big for her face, calls out names like an assistant producer. Luna mic check. Sarah? Keys. Devon? Voice. Everyone? The kids giggle. Mira smiles. She didn't teach Luna this. It was born in her. Same room. Later, Mira kneels beside a girl, Zoe, 11, whose fingers hover above the strings, hesitant. Myra, softly. Don't worry about the right notes. Just play what feels true. Zoe nods, strums softly, a clumsy sound, but real. Mira taps her foot, guiding the tempo, smiling. This wasn't a music class. It was a room where silence was safe to break. The door creaks open. Julian enters, holding 2 small speakers under his arm. He gives Mira a nod. She nods back. No fanfare, just presence. Wall. Later, Mira pins up a printed photo from her Chicago performance. Next to it, drawings from the kids. In the corner, she hangs a wooden sign, hand-carved by Luna. This is where dreams don't have to be whispered. She steps back, breathes in the music rising behind her, off-key, imperfect, alive. She never set out to change the world. She just sang into it. And the world finally echoed back, a small community stage, folding chairs, homemade decorations, string lights hung like stars. A banner overhead reads, Family Stories Night, Voices That Matter. The audience is a patchwork of parents, siblings, teachers, many still settling into their seats, fidgeting with programs. At the microphone stands Luna, nervous but proud, holding a wrinkled paper in both hands. Mira sits in the second row, heart in her throat. Luna clears her voice. Luna. Hi, I'm Luna Solis, and this is my poem. It's called The Rooms She Left Behind. A hush falls. My mom used to clean rooms that weren't hers. Beds she never slept in. Floors she never danced on. She folded towels like they were secrets. She scrubbed mirrors that never showed her reflection. Mira's eyes glisten. She isn't breathing. But she sang anyway. In the hallway. In the silence. In me. A tear slips down Julian's cheek. People walked past her like she was background noise. But I always heard the song. Luna's voice shakes, but she never stops. She doesn't carry trays anymore. She carries truth. She doesn't wipe up other people's messes. She teaches us how to sing through our own. One beat. Then the final line. My mom doesn't clean rooms anymore. She opens doors. The audience exhales. Then applause, louder than the space can hold. Mira clasps her hands over her mouth, smiling, crying, proud. Luna steps off the stage and runs straight into her arms. Some legacies aren't built in spotlight. They're stitched into children, word by word, note by note. Dim lights, warm wood floors, instruments lined along the walls like quiet witnesses. Mira stands beside Julian, both holding mugs of tea. They look over a dusty old file box Julian has pulled from a cabinet. He opens it. Inside, demos, letters, envelopes, all the voices that never made it onto a record. He pulls out one CD, plain, Sharpie label, faded but still readable. Mira Solis, demo, age 17. She gasps, Mira. You kept it? Julian. I didn't know your name back then. There was no return address, just the song, and this. He hands her an envelope. The envelope. It's cream-colored, thick, elegant, her own handwriting across the front. To whoever needs to hear this. She opens it slowly. Inside, The letter from room 6, the one that started everything. You were seen. Mira whispers. I wrote this? Julian, nodding. You mailed it with your demo. I kept it because it felt like it was talking to me. Beat Julian, Cant D. But I didn't realize who it really belonged to until I saw you in that hallway. Heard you hum the same melody. Watched you clean rooms like you were hiding a crown. Mira holds the letter close, like she's found a part of herself that had been wandering. Mira, softly. I wrote a love letter to a stranger, and it circled all the way back to me, Julian, smiling. It was always your voice that found me. Some messages take years to arrive. Some letters go out lost, so they can come back when we're ready to read them. The benefit is in full swing. Warm lighting pours over a modest stage where a single baby grand piano waits. Rows of folding chairs are packed. Parents, teachers, motel staff, even Mira's former co-workers, some awkwardly clutching programs. Backstage, Mira stands in soft lighting, palms sweaty, heart thudding. Julian appears beside her, guitar slung over one shoulder. They share a look. Julian, you ready? Mira, nervous smile. Only if you don't outshine me, he chuckles. Julian. Not possible. They step onto the stage together. Whispers ripple through the crowd. A few phones come up, but it's not chaotic, it's reverent. Julian takes the piano bench. Mira stands in front of the mic. He plays the first note. She closes her eyes and begins. I used to fold corners of dreams I couldn't keep, tucked my voice into linens, and sang myself to sleep. The room stills. People lean forward. But music waits in doorways and echoes off the pane. Even the quietest whispers find their way home again. Julian joins in. You are not forgotten. You were never gone. Every silence you endured became part of the song. Their voices braid together, soft, steady, haunting. Mira smiles mid-note. Warm lighting washes over a modest wooden stage. The benefit concert is simple but sincere. Folding chairs packed with supporters. Hand-painted signs read, Music for Second Chances. Featuring Mira Solis and Julian Ayres. Backstage, Mira stands in front of a cracked mirror, adjusting the strap of her guitar. Her hands tremble slightly. Julian. OS. You ready? She turns. He stands behind her holding his own guitar. Mira, softly. No, but that's never stopped me before. He smiles and offers his hand. She takes it. Moments later, the lights dim. The room hushes. Mira steps forward to the mic. She closes her eyes, breathes in, out Myra, into mic. This isn't a performance. It's a memory, played out loud. She nods to Julian. A soft fingerpick begins. Simple chords that echo like old lullabies. Mira joins in, her voice. Fragile at first, but honest. I walked the halls with no name, washed the silence from the floors. But somewhere someone was listening, behind unopened doors. Julian's harmony slides in, low, soulful. You were music when you didn't know it. A song sung in a whisper. You were a chord I never forgot. A melody in the mess. Camera pans across the audience, some in tears, others swaying gently. But the real magic isn't the crowd. It's them, eyes on each other, a rhythm between glances. Shared notes only they hear. They finish the song together. No high note, no flourish, just soft harmony. A long silence. Then, applause. But as the clapping swells, sound fades out. Only their voices remain, just them. The world heard a song that night, but they heard each other. The light is soft, golden. The motel hasn't changed much. Still the same chipped beige walls. The humming old AC. The pine-scented cleaner that clings to the air. Mira walks in slowly, alone. The front desk clerk handed her the key earlier, recognizing her with wide eyes. She just smiled and said, I used to work here. She stands still in the center of room 3. Her eyes scan every detail. The sheets she used to fold with corners sharp like military creases. The mirror she once wiped while humming tunes she never dared sing. The tiny stain by the lamp base she tried scrubbing out 100 times. She runs her hand across the dresser. Dust now. Flash cut. Years ago. Mira, in uniform, earbuds in, scrubbing. It's her. A guest yelling through the door about towels. Luna, tiny, waiting outside with crayons. She walks toward the bed. Kneels, reaches beneath the frame, and pulls out a small folded towel. Still there. She smiles. From her coat, she pulls out a blank envelope, slips something inside, then gently places it under the bed, where she once left snacks for Luna to find during long shifts. Close up, on note inside envelope, handwritten. To the next dreamer who sleeps here, you are seen. You matter. You are music, she stands. Looks around once more. Breathes. Mira, softly to the room. Thank you for holding me, even when I couldn't sing. Sometimes the places that broke us become the places where we bury our ghosts in peace. She walks out, doesn't look back. The morning sun pours through tall windows, catching dust particles mid-air like glitter suspended in time. Volunteers rush around hanging signs, adjusting lights, and handing out printed program flyers for the benefit concert. Insert. Program flyer, centered in bold letters. Spotlight series, Mira Solis. From Maid to Muse. Below it, a story of music rediscovered, of silence overcome. Mira stands at the edge of the crowd, unnoticed for once. In a simple cardigan, her hair in a soft braid, no stage lights or microphones, just a mother holding a flyer. She stares at her name, not buried, not small, not misspelled, centered, framed, celebrated. Flashback. Her boss once tossing her ID badge on a counter, saying, "Don't be late again." Her name absent from the school music recital because she dropped out. A customer calling her, "Hey, cleaning lady," without meeting her eyes. Her name now floats on thick paper, printed in elegant serif. No title before it, just her. Mira. She folds the program once, then again. School backpack. Moments later, Luna's backpack lies open on the kitchen table. Mira slips the folded program into the inner pocket, right next to a half-eaten granola bar and a glitter pen. Mira, soft whisper. Take it to school. Let them see who your mom really is. Street outside, concert hall. Continuous. She steps out into the light. The wind lifts her braids slightly. She hums as she walks. Not for a stage, not for anyone watching, just for herself. Sometimes the greatest stages are the ones we build for our children to stand taller on. The apartment is warm, scattered with sheet music, coffee-stained mugs, and a vinyl record spinning low in the background. Julian sits at his desk. A lamp glows beside him. His guitar leans untouched against the wall in front of him, an open journal, a pen in hand. One final letter. Julian, VO, as he writes. Dear Mira, there were 1,000 things I wanted to say in person, and I said only a few. The rest I'm pouring here. Flash images while he writes. Mira's hands wringing a rag behind the motel counter. Mira holding Luna on the clinic bench. Mira singing, trembling, into a spotlight that finally welcomed her. Julian, VO. I watched you carry weight the world never thanked you for. I watched you find your voice again, even when it cracked. You reminded me why I ever loved music in the first place. He pauses. Tears threaten. But he doesn't blink them away. Julian, VO. You never needed a savior. Just someone who listened between the notes. And now the whole world is listening. He signs it, just Julian. He stares at the letter for a long time, then quietly folds it once, carries it to the small balcony, strikes a match. The flame catches the paper's edge, text burning away. She already knew. The ashes float into the night. Some letters are meant to be written, not delivered, because the people we write them for already carry the truth in their eyes. The music shifts. In the background, faintly, Mira's voice humming through a phone recording Luna once sent him. He smiles. Soft morning light slips through gauzy curtains. The kitchen is modest, lived in, filled with warmth. Mismatched mugs, a sketch of Luna framed on the fridge, a tiny potted basil plant on the sill. The house is quiet, but not empty. There's life here now. Gentle, unhurried. Mira stands by the stove in an oversized sweater, pouring hot water over coffee grounds in a ceramic dripper. No uniform, no rush, no list of rooms to clean. Just the stillness of a home she owns, built not from bricks, but from every heartbreak she survived. She adds a splash of cream. No clock watching, no boss calling. A kettle whistles softly. She lifts it and turns the heat off. Dining nook. Continuous. She sits at a small wooden table, worn at the edges but hand-painted by Luna with little gold stars. Mira closes her eyes and takes a sip. A small smile forms. No one's watching, and that's the beauty of it. She hums, a tune half forgotten, half new. The one she sang to Luna as a baby. The one she once buried beneath grief. Now rising like steam from her cup. She hums not for the stage, not for Julian, not for recognition, but because it lives inside her now. Untamed, unashamed, unapologetic. She used to think music only mattered when someone listened. But sometimes, the most healing song is the one you sing when no one's around. Outside, a dog barks. Luna's laugh echoes faintly from the backyard. Mira glances out the window, then keeps humming. Like the morning itself was a verse waiting to be sung. A warm, glowing venue filled with folding chairs and proud parents. Posters hang on the walls. Young voices, big dreams, a night of student originals. The audience is cheerful, relaxed. This isn't about fame. It's about love, and voice, and courage. Mira stands just off stage, wearing a soft blue scarf. One Luna picked for her. Her fingers lightly tap her thigh, nervous. Not for herself, but for the little girl about to step into the light. MC, On My Sea. And next, we have Luna Solis performing an original piece titled, My Mother's Music. The crowd claps politely. Luna, now 10, walks onto the stage in a sunflower yellow dress, holding a small ukulele with star stickers. Her hands tremble. She looks down, then finds Mira in the wings. Mira mouths silently, You got this. Luna nods, strums once, then sings. Luna, singing. She cleaned rooms with music stuck in her chest. Dreams folded tight with every bedsheet pressed. But in the quiet, she would hum to me, and that was where I learned to be free. The room is silent, breath held. Her voice isn't polished. It's soft, fluttering, like a first breeze before spring. Luna, singing. She gave up songs so I could eat, but I found lyrics in her heartbeat. And now I sing so she can see. The music she gave is living in me. Mira's hand flies to her mouth. She's weeping, silently, fully. Every lyric is a mirror. Every note, a memory. The final chord rings out. Standing ovation. But Luna only looks for one thing. Her mother's eyes, and finds them full. Proud. Overflowing. Sometimes legacy isn't in fame. It's in the voice that carries you forward. The spotlight dims. Luna walks off stage, right into Mira's arms, clean, quiet. A freshly made bed, folded towels, a card on the nightstand that reads, You are seen. No name, just music notes sketched in ink. Mira's world now. Mira teaching a circle of kids how to write lyrics. Julian tuning a small guitar beside her. Luna performing with her school choir. Mira, Backstage, laughing with women in janitor uniforms she invited as guests. Mira, sitting on a porch with a coffee mug that says, "One song at a time." A framed flyer on the wall. From Maid to Muse, the Mira Solis story. Sunset. Mira walks through field wide. Golden. She holds a guitar case but walks slowly, like there's no rush. No pressure, only peace. Julian walks beside her, quiet, not saying anything, just sharing the silence. Julian, VO. She thought she was just a cleaner, just a girl who folded sheets and forgot how to sing. But I heard her before I ever saw her, even in silence. She was music. They stop at a tree overlooking the motel in the distance. Mira opens the case, takes out the guitar. She doesn't perform. She just strums a quiet chord. The same melody she once hummed in the laundry room. Text on screen. She was never just a cleaner. She was music. A soft piano plays. The screen fades into handwritten lyrics. Mira's original song. Then finally,